Howdy friends, welcome back to Let's Play Alpha Sapphire. So, you may be wondering why I am standing here in the Rustboro City Pokemon Center, and there are actually two reasons for that. The reason I'm in the Pokemon Center is because I was putting Kyogre in the PC and getting Eve back out, and I realized there is an organized items menu. And I was hoping that might hint to having like an item box that you could store items in, kind of like the older games, but sadly that is not the case. It's just talking about the items that are being held by Pokemon. One thing I thought was kind of cool that I wanted to show is that some of the Pokemon we've captured are actually holding items when you capture them. So Torkoal is holding a charcoal, Lunatone is holding a Stardust, obviously Latias and Lanoon we gave their items, as well as Kyogre. Lantern is holding a Deep Sea Scale, which I didn't even know he could hold. And if I were to give that Deep Sea Scale to Clamperl and Trader, she would evolve, but I'm not going to bother with that. And Clamperl herself is holding a Big Pearl, so that's kind of cool. Um, so just something I hadn't mentioned yet is that wild Pokemon, many of them can be holding a item when you catch them. That was something added, I think, in later games. I don't even know if it was in Gen 3, maybe in Gen 3. I don't think Gen 2, but it could be wrong. Maybe a berry or something in Gen 2. I do think as we've gone on in generations, it's become a little more prevalent. Um, and I think they tend to do like 50% for like a berry or something kind of common, and 5% for a rare item. All right, so why are we here in Petalburg? Not Petalburg, Rustboro, though, of all places. It's because it's next to the Petalburg Woods, and I wanted to come here to catch a Pokemon. And that Pokemon is Shroomish, so what luck. Actually, in full disclosure here, I actually started this episode once before, a couple minutes ago. Got like 6 or 7 minutes in, I had countered maybe a dozen, 2 dozen Pokemon, and none of them were Shroomish, so I kind of ran out of things to talk about, realized I didn't want to start the episode with something that boring, so I restarted it. And hey, got really lucky this time, so that's cool. You might be asking, why am I catching a Shroomish? Well, that is going to be a mystery. Um, you guys want to guess? You could probably figure it out if you're a really experienced and astute Pokemon player, but if not, don't feel bad, it is not immediately obvious. If Shroomish senses... Let me try this again. If Shroomish senses danger, it shakes its body and scatters spores from the top of its head. This Pokemon's spores are so toxic, they make trees and weeds wilt. Interesting, it's not even a poison type. So that's a description you would think would be more apt for poison types. Alright, so, um, yeah, it's funny, I was, in the last recording, I was saying, the one that you guys will never see because I restarted it, um, I was talking about how, maybe you guys could try to predict what Pokemon I was trying to catch, and then, what I needed it for, which would have been very impressive. Um, can I not fly back here? I can't, but I can fly to this one. Good. Um, now that you know it's Shroomish, it's a little bit easier to predict. What I will do off camera, though, if I don't forget, in fact, let me make a note of it right now. Um, I do want to drop Shroomish off in the daycare. Um, and again, I will tell you why at a later date. But let's check out one more of these while we're here. It's cool that there's a wide variety of hideouts here as opposed to just one tree. Oh, that's also pretty interesting. You can have an upstairs house if you want. Not really a fan of stairs though. It's kind of a pain when you like when you get like food or a snack and you have to carry it upstairs and not drop it, and then you have plates you have to take downstairs. I don't know, it gets to be a pain. But yeah, a two-story house compared to a one-story house of the same square footage is actually a lot cheaper to build, which is why most houses are 2 or more stories. Also, generally more energy efficient, so lower heating and cooling bills. Though depending on how you build the house, not always. Um, it's mainly because two of the biggest items in home construction are the cost of the roof and the cost of the concrete foundation. So building up obviously does not increase those, whereas building out does. Let's use Eve because why not? Facing these divers. All right. Well, that was a bit of a non sequitur, or I guess a tangent, I should say. But what else do I want to talk about? So today, as you guys have probably gathered, we will be heading west, continuing our watery journey, and hopefully we'll have time to get to Pacific Log Town by the end of the day. We'll see. Thankfully, we are against a Corsola, which is good because it does not resist Surf, being water and rock type. However, Endure will keep it alive, and it might even have the ability Sturdy, in which case, you know, it also would have been kept alive. Luckily, Endure will tend to fail if used repeatedly, so wasn't too worried about it. And down goes Corsola. And level 44, okay, so... Sorry I tried to leave you in the PC, but plan didn't work out. We will keep our old moves. Coil is a move that only a few Pokemon can learn, and they're all pretty snake-like. I think it's like Melodix, Viper, Superior. I trained a Superior that had Coil. I think I used it in my Pokemon White 2 Boss Battles playlist, which is up on my channel if you're interested. Shameless plug. What else is down here? Some more divers if I remember correctly. When I didn't use a Repel. But yep, we've already found everything there is to find here, so let's go ahead and use one. Even better. Whoa, only 6 Super Repels. Okay. Let me add to my little list of between episode to-do list here. Super Repels. This is why I keep a notepad handy. Alright, so I do apologize if we run out. I don't think there's a Pokemart in Pacific Log Town, but once we get there, we can fly back, so I can fly away and get some more. Alright, we will have to use these wisely, though. I might also have some max repels or regular repels from picking them up, we'll see. Another option would be if I find like a sign on this route that I could fly back to. We can always make a quick pit stop, take a little bit of an intermission, a snack break if you will, in the middle of this episode. Critical hit. Don't think I needed that, but not really sure. And Whiscash. Alright, good. Another Pokemon that is not resistant to Surf. Now, of course, because of the Hyper Beam, we do have to recover, so that'll give Whiscash a chance to do a little bit of damage, but actually less than I thought it would do. Earthquake, of course, being a very powerful attack that gets stabbed from Whiscash. And it should have stuck with the Earthquake, but it did not, so... not going to bother healing, we can always heal later. So yeah, now that we have Eve with us again, we can explore some of the areas that Kyogre would not actually fit into. And I was curious if I was like missing something or if like anybody else had commented on it, so I did look it up. And I found a Reddit thread as well as the Bubblepedia articles on Kyogre as well as surfing actually do mention that Kyogre has a unique sprite both while surfing and diving, and that because of the large hitbox you actually can't get to certain areas. I'm not sure if Bubblepedia mentioned that or not, it might have. I know the Reddit thread definitely did. I guess he's been down here for 20 minutes and 14 seconds. Hopefully she has enough air. Diver Coral. Interesting that she doesn't have a Corsola. No Galarian Corsola, obviously, since this is only Gen 6. And I probably should have used Hyper Beam there, but oh well, we'll see how much this does. Not quite a one-shot, but it will be a two-shot, so that's good. Yeah, so if you have Kyogre, the upside of having Kyogre, as you guys have seen, is that divers will not challenge you. I guess they're just too scared or feel like, okay, you know, what are the chances I'm going to win against a legendary Pokemon like Kyogre? So they don't even bother. And that much makes sense. I actually kind of like that as a mechanic. What I don't like is that I can't even challenge them if I want to. They just refuse to face you. Alright, lacking any better options, let's go for Hyper Beam. Barrier will increase its defenses, but ever since Gen 4, Hyper Beam is a special attack, not a physical attack. It used to be a physical attack because whether an attack was a physical or special attack used to be based exclusively on type. So for example, normal type moves were always physical attacks, water moves were always special, etc., which made it really awkward for some Pokemon like Gengar who wanted to learn a ghost attack, but all ghost attacks were, ooh, not good. Alright, not as bad as I thought it would be though. So now is a good time to recover. And Tentacruel can keep bearing away, I don't really care about that. So it was a really good switch and was really actually, in my opinion, quite revolutionary at the time. I had to like learn all different things and think about Pokemon in a different way. Because I was probably one of the few people who actually knew that much about physical and special attacks. At least I think I did as a kid. Hopefully I'm not just like projecting backwards. Yeah, and this Tentacruel has max defense, but it doesn't matter because he was a special attacker. What was really cool about it is it gave kind of the developers a reason to develop some brand new moves like Flare Blitz and uh, Power Gem. Um, they wanted to have moves that could be. Um, they wanted each type to have good moves that were both physical and special, and they've been expanding those. It took them a few generations before they got to the point where I feel like they're at a pretty good balance. There were some types that didn't really have a good move, and some still don't. Like Power Gem is really not that great, I don't think. Um, Ice until it got Icicle Crash didn't really have a great physical move. So yeah, there definitely was some disparity, but I actually like that. I think if every single type in the game had a base 90 special attack and a base 90 physical attack, it would just be really boring. One of the cool things about Pokemon is having to decide, do I want Flare Blitz, which is 120 base power and physical, or do I want Flamethrower, which is base 90 and special? It's not all the same. I think I saw a Clamperl there, but not too worried about it. Another diver here. Battles everywhere. That's what it is to be a trainer. Well, you got that right. Battles everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Oh wait, that's something else. Right. Oh, I should have used Lepa Berries because I am running low on Hyper Beams. Oh well, let's do the best we can here, and then Eve's already level 45, so we'll go ahead and switch her out after this battle. Um, so anyway, a little bit of interesting trivia about Gen 3 and the Gen 4 change. Um, Not sure where I was really going with that. Oh, I guess I was just saying, oh hey, look, oh that's awesome. We haven't had too much chance to use this ability yet, but there we go. Um, yeah, so for example, Giga Drain or Giga Impact was a move they added. They wouldn't have needed it if they hadn't made the change to special physical attacks, the breakdown. But oh, here we go. And competitive again. We now have +4 special attack. This Gyarados will rue the day, although I guess it didn't have much of a choice. As long as we hit this, I bet it's going to be a one-hit knockout. A +4 Hyper Beam from a Melodic is going to do a lot of damage, even to a Gyarados. I bet that could have taken out like a level 50 plus Gyarados, so level 40 is no problem at all. Well done, Eve. Glub glub glub. Um, yes, definitely a good change. Alright, let's switch Eve with, how about Slate? And I do want to give Slate a new item since we got the Shell Bell rather. Rock Helmet's pretty good. Might switch it back later, but I do want to kind of show you guys the Shell Bell in action. And even though it's not like the best item in the game, it can be useful, especially during like normal gameplay. And one thing that's cool about it is that it obviously kind of like Giga Drain, it heals more the more damage you do. So I'm gonna say no because I think we can avoid most of the grass down here and save our repels for a little bit later. Let's face this guy first. After this brief intermission. Lantern. I do have Earthquake, so yeah, why not? Hopefully we're faster, and we are. So I would argue, and this is just kind of me theorizing, I haven't done like a scientific study or anything, but I would argue it's probably best to use it on a bulky Pokemon with a high attack stat, kind of like Metang or maybe Expelled. I used to use it on Swampert. I remember my Swampert, I think, that I used in my very first Sapphire. Kippy was his name for Mudkip. That was a fun game to play and fun team to train. Another Lantern should be pretty easy. Slightly higher level, but still not too much of a problem. Hey, one shot, despite not getting stab. And I think I gave him the Shell Bell actually for most of the game once I got it, because it was cool, because I actually had to put in some work to make it, and back then there wasn't like a strategy guide, I just kind of had to figure it out. Not that it was like super hard to figure out, but it still felt like a big accomplishment, and it was kind of a cool memento I feel like I really earned, so, and it was fun to give to Swampert. But I do feel like Swampert's a good Pokemon to give it to, because it has a decent attack stat, and also pretty solid defenses. Whereas if you gave it to like Blaziken, we've already been here, this is the one we actually went to. Of course. Like Blaziken or Roselia might have the attacks to heal a lot with a Shell Bell, but chances are they're not going to get hit by too much damage. It could be okay for Blaziken because of High Jump Kick. If he can survive the recoil for High Jump Kick and survive one attack from an enemy Pokemon and hang in there, he could use another High Jump Kick to peel back a lot of that recoil damage, so maybe I'll try it on him as well, but for now we're using Slate, so we will try it on Slate. Just gonna run away here. Alright, now we can finally see this whole area here that eluded us in the last episode. There's more up north here. Can I go up here? No, I cannot. I don't know if there are items here. I feel like there's probably a lot of items on the seafloor that I'm missing, but without the dowsing machine, I'm just not going to bother. Yeah, so on the articles, I did read that not only does Kyogre have its own, Kyogre is kind of the most unique because it has its own sort of gameplay effects where you can't fit in certain areas and Pokemon trainers don't challenge you underwater. So I think they still do on the surface though. That doesn't change. I guess for whatever reason, an underwater Kyogre is a little bit scarier. Um, but there's also unique sprites for Lapras, which there was also a unique sprite for in X and Y, because they kind of give you Lapras as like a free giveaway surfing Pokemon, which I didn't really like. I don't really like giveaways, but what can you do? You do always have a choice not to use it, which is what I so choose, just like Latias in this game. What was I going to say? Oh, also, Wailmer, I think, has its own sprite, and Sharpedo has its own sprite, and I read that Sharpedo actually also has a mechanic to it, where on the surface it goes twice as fast. Apparently Kyogre actually goes faster than normal, which I didn't really notice before. Maybe you guys did. Yep, here we go. Let's just get our handy-dandy dowsing machine on our head. See, when you go, like, from here to here, it doesn't go away. Can't go over there, it looks like. But I do see some secret bases up here. Thank you, Ava. And Sharpedo also apparently prevents you from fishing. I guess having a Sharpedo scares away the fish. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind training a Sharpedo, especially now that there's a Mega Evolution for it. Maybe if I ever do like a Let's Play Omega Ruby one day, which, you know, I have no plans to. There are a half dozen other games I'd rather play first. But, you know, if one day, 10, 15 years from now, there's not a remake and I feel like going back and doing another one, it's not impossible. I probably want to do something to spice it up, though. I'm not really sure what. Maybe I'd play it while having somebody else play a Omega Ruby with me, or I don't know, or Alpha Sapphire at the same time, or I don't know, some kind of challenge. Probably not a Nuzlocke challenge. I don't really like the idea of. I don't like playing under that much like risk and pressure. Like Pokemon's supposed to be fun and relaxing for me at least. Again, for people who like it, you know, that's great. They make their own rule set. Obviously, I make my own rule set when I play, so you know, more power to them. And if you like watching the Nuzlocke challenges, there's tons of them on YouTube. So, but yeah, I don't want it to be so stressful where I'm like, oh my god, I have to switch, and I'd rather just kind of play it more relaxed. You know, try not to faint. Try not to use items to make it too easy, but otherwise, not worrying about things too much. All right, so since we have to dive either way. Oh, this is a bad choice. Oh, of all the cities in all the world, I chose this one to walk into. Because the Pokemart is not nearby the Pokemon Center here in Sootopolis. Alright, let's fly to Moss Deep. Not Lily Cove, because Lily Cove has a department store. Would have also been a bad choice. I just want to run in real quick and buy some Super Repels, just to make sure we don't run out. It'll probably be a better time investment in the long run. Hopefully you guys don't mind. So yeah, I do like the idea that there's like different mechanics for different Pokemon you can ride, and different sprites is awesome. So I'm totally on board with all that. I'm still not totally sold on the whole, let's buy a few more revives while we're here and we have some money. Does it annoy anybody else that it's not a nice even number? Just in case. I think I might have a little bit of OCD. Alright, so we'll buy just tons of Super Repels, because I'm sure we'll need them. Spend almost all of our money, but hey, that's what it's for, right? That's something I think a lot of people who are, I read an article once about that, people who are well off, make a lot of money, a lot of people that have a lot of money Not always, some of them just inherited it or got lucky, but a lot of them, had to work hard to get a lot of money and, um, didn't get $1 million and then give up. They got $1 million and then had this urge to turn to 2 million and 10 million and a billion and just, kept going. Um, which obviously, is only one of the aspects it takes. It also takes a decent bit of luck as well. But, and of course, assistance from other people. Nobody does it alone, unless you're maybe like a lottery winner. But even then, somebody had to set up the state lottery. All right, so what was I saying about that though? Oh, but apparently people, because they have that drive to get more and more money, they become kind of frugal in a way, and especially people who are like upper middle class, like not super rich, but definitely more well off than you or I am. Uh, Not likelihood. So I think we've done most of what there is to do here now. If I miss a dive or something, I'm not too worried about it. Um, they're very reluctant to buy back their time. For example, by hiring like somebody to clean their house for them. I actually have a friend who's an executive in a shoe sales company, and he makes a good amount of money. Definitely well in the six-figure range. And I think he did say he hired somebody just to come in like once a week and clean his house. Actually, I think the president of my company said the same thing, or maybe one of them said it. And I'm just conflating the two. It's quite possible. But on the one hand, it's like how hard is it to really clean your house? But I guess at least my shoe salesman friend I think has a big house. That's probably part of it. But that's what the article was saying, that a lot of times people who are in that kind of class are very reluctant to spend their money on things like that buy back their time. But the things that make you happy in life, I mean, they've done studies. Money after a certain point does not make you happier. It's a wash. Um, Now, obviously, if you're poor, then a lack of money will make you unhappy. But once you kind of have enough to be not stressed out about money, um, don't know if we're faster. Let's try a Zen Headbutt just in case. Yeah, I kind of figured he would be. We avoided the attack and it wouldn't have done much damage anyway. But what really does make you happy is having more free time to do things you enjoy, to spend it with your friends and family. So let's use Rock Polish. So it does make sense that you're buying back your time. And hey, if you're hiring somebody to help you with cleaning your house or whatever it is they're helping you with as a service, walking your dogs or even watching your kids, although that's a little bit more iffy because that's quality time you never get back. But and that can be a slippery slope, I think, as well. Um, but oh, there's a shell bell, very cool. Heal back what little HP we lost there. Um, Actually, it actually goes really well, I think, with Slate's moveset because being a slower Pokemon or a medium Pokemon, he takes a lot of damage on the first turn usually, or at least some damage. Ah, he's matching my agility or my Rock Polish with an agility of his own. But usually, if my opponent doesn't use agility, I'm sorry, she is, um, then once I speed up and can outspeed the enemy's Pokemon, hopefully the enemy's whole team, I can then use my moves quicker to heal up that lost damage. So I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully I'll get a chance to show it off in action at some point. Alright, we've been up here, have we? Let me just read this sign, just in case it like unlocks the flying ability. Because that'd be nice. Hopping on Dan. I can just imagine somebody riding an Exploud through the water. That'd be interesting. Did I use a repel? I don't think I did. Alright, cool. I really hope that if you swim with an Exploud, I can totally imagine it like you know how ships have like those those holes that spout out water when it gets too high, and I don't know what they're called because I'm not really a sailor, but my dad used to own a boat, but it was like him and a friend co-owned it, and it was a very tiny like little sports boat for fishing and stuff. But I think it's my uncle or my pop-up used to say, somebody used to say it, a boat is a hole in the water you throw money into. So if you like boating, hey, that's the thing to spend your money on. But if you don't, um, wouldn't recommend. Alright, so this is not a good matchup here. Since Groudon is a water and dark type, which means the only move we have that does neutral damage is Earthquake, which of course does not get stab. On the bright side, we are faster, so I'm glad I didn't waste a turn with Rock Polish. Groudon is obviously also pretty defensive. Ouch. What was that? A Night Slash, I think? Something like that? Definitely did a lot of damage. Will Earthquake be a 3-hit knockout? I don't know. Hopefully it's going to be a crit maybe, or some good damage rolls. It's going to be really close. Oh, and we do get some back from the Shed Shell. Alright, and he was kind of dumb and used Swift, so especially after one more Earthquake, we can survive another Night Slash, I'm pretty sure. Unless he gets the crit. And I think Night Slash does have an increased crit ratio. Alright, there we go. A little bit more healing. Very nice. Yeah, so like I said, you know, time makes you happier than money does. So if you do happen to be in the fortuitous situation where you have a decent amount of money and you have some in savings and saved away for retirement, that's what I was going to say. That it's better to pay it to somebody to do a service for you, somebody who could probably is working class and really could use the money, as opposed to just throwing it into a savings account where some bank gets it. And um, banks do good things too. They lend out mortgage loans and all. So it's there's actually a few bad ways to do things with money. Unless stuffing it in cash into your pillow is not a good way to do it. But even if you invest in like the stock market, I mean, you are supporting a company which is hiring people and making products. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a citrus berry, and obviously I'm way off topic here, but yeah, I don't know how you're talking about that. But anyway, here we are. Alright, so we will keep Slate out just a little bit longer. Worry not. And we will keep surfing around and seeing what else we can find. How far have we gotten? Are we close to Pacific Log? Not really, so we'll probably go there actually next episode. I see. Ooh, a little hidden area up here. What is this? Maybe not a hidden area. I do like the rocks though. It makes it a little bit more interesting. Oh, Sky Pillar. Ah, so I don't actually see Sky Pillar on the map. Sky Pillar was, I think, I don't think it was Emerald exclusive. I think you could go there, and that's where you caught Rayquaza, even in the original um, Ruby and Sapphire games. But it was just it was there. Nobody told you about it. You just had to kind of go find it. Whereas I think in Emerald, part of the main plot, like, I don't remember if it was Kyogre or Groudon or both you had to capture or fight, or what the deal was really. But I do remember that you had to go catch Rayquaza then to quiet them down or something like that. So I'm kind of hoping there's going to be more to this that kind of picks up and builds on that quest. One more Zen Headbutt should do the trick here. Haven't gotten a lot of chance to use our new Meteor Mash move, unfortunately, just because we've been facing a lot of water types. Definitely a lot of water types in this game, so I can understand people getting frustrated about fighting so many water Pokemon in one portion of the game, but hopefully you have a grass or electric type. Although you could be like me and just not use them. I'm out of my depth. Well, there's an island there. You can go swim in the shallow waters for a bit. And what is this? Slate is evolving. I didn't want to spoil it, but I feel like some of you guys might have already known or remembered that Slate evolves at level 45. At long last, it is time to get one of my favorite Pokemon, Metagross. A very, very powerful Steel and Psychic type, which is a great type combination, a lot of resistances, and like I said, I think very early on in the Let's Play, it used to only have 2 weaknesses, Ground and Fire. Now it has 4 because of the type change in Gen 6. It added Ghost and Dark, which Steel no longer resists. But it does resist Fairy, so that's cool. Alright, so we are going to give up on Hammer Arm. It's a decent fighting attack. It lowers your speed, though. It's one of the trade-offs. Which is a pretty good coverage move, but I think Ground actually has better coverage with Psychic and Steel than Fighting does, at least by a little bit. And Earthquake is just a better move, in my opinion, than Hammer Arm. But alright, let's try to go a little bit more and just see if we can find a enemy trainer to use Hammer Arm against. Looks like she is preventing us from going to the Sky Pillar quite yet. Only those who have been recognized as being worthy can go beyond this point. Doesn't even say what worthy means. Like, at least the guy who's blocking Mewtwo's cave, Cerulean Cave, told you had to beat the Pokemon League. So I wonder what we have to do to prove ourselves. I guess having a Metagross is not enough. But hopefully we will in time. The sea is teeming with Pokemon. It's not easy swimming, I tell you. Well, that's why you have to buy 50 plus Super Repels like we did, right? Swimmer Richard and his Whalmer. Alright, so what was I going to say? Oh, so Metagross is very powerful. It has, I think it actually has higher base stats, slightly in total, than than even Mega Altaria does. I want to say regular Altaria has like 490 total stats, and when it Mega Evolves, it gains 100, so 590, whereas Metagross has base 600. So Metagross actually has the same stat pool as Latios and Latias. It's higher than some legendaries like Moltres and Raikou and all kind of the trio Pokemon. Um, and now you could be thinking, well, Aravel, you're only using legendaries. Are you okay with using Metagross? And the reason for that is really because, oh, this is a dead end. That's annoying. Um, I wonder if there's an item there, but I don't think you can find items in the water. That wouldn't make too much sense. We already faced you, didn't we? Is because with the legendary, you just kind of catch them, and they're already really good. Like if we start using Kyogre, and Kyogre is a different class of legendary. It's like a game cover legendary, which is a stat pool total of 680, and Primal Kyogre I think is 780. So, 600 to 780 is a massive jump. It basically is like having another evolution on top of it. And I don't want to use Mega Metagross or Mega Latias because that would be a stat pool of 700, which is also very, very very, very high and would make the game too easy in my opinion. But using Pokemon like Metagross at 600 or Mega Altaria at 590, I think Blaziken's probably, I could look it up, probably 550, 560, something like that. Most Pokemon tend to have an average, I want to say between like 500 and 540-ish, somewhere thereabouts, maybe 480. Yes, okay, so Blaziken is 530, and when you Mega Evolve him, he's 630. So actually, Mega Blaziken is not that overpowered in terms of stat. It's more its ability plus the way its stats are allocated. It doesn't get much of a defensive boost, but it gets a huge attacking boost when it Mega Evolves. All right, and thanks to Clear Body there, we did not take any stat loss, so a pretty good ability. Not the best ability. Not as good as like, you know, uh, Altaria's or Mega Metagross's Tough Claws, but not bad either. In fact, a lot of times in competitive battling, you'll see trainers purposefully not evolve their Metagross right away into Mega Metagross because they know an opponent's about to switch in a Pokemon with Intimidate, and they want to keep that Clear Body for one more turn. Got a little bit of health back, not much. Right, let's do a little bit more just because I want to finish this train of thought. So we'll keep going. Hopefully you guys don't mind these slightly longer episodes. Here's another trainer to face while I talk. So Metagross is what's called a pseudo-legendary Pokemon, which I think is just a fan name for them. But they're Pokemon that have an average stat of base 100, and there are 6 stats, so base stat total of 600. They are a 3-stage evolution, and I guess those are really the only requirements, and they're not a legendary. I mean, there's not really any that would fit otherwise. So another Pokemon that resists both of our stab attacks, so Earthquake it is. A lot of Pokemon that resist our stab moves are weak to Earthquake, but not all of them, clearly. I think that's the case. I haven't really looked it up in a while. So the first pseudo-legendary was Dragonite, my favorite Pokemon. And then there's been one for every generation except for Generation 3, actually. So Gen 2 had Tyranitar. Gen 3 had Metagross and Salamence, that too. Gen 4 had Garchomp. Gen 5 had Hydreigon. Gen 6 had Goodra. Gen 7 had Kommo-o. And Gen 8 has... it's the little missile dragon ghost dude. Drag... I know this. I know this. I've seen enough Generation 8 competitive battling too. Drake, something like that. Whatever. I'll think of it. Don't tell me. I'm not gonna look it up though. I want to think of it on my own. I feel like I'm not even that old, but I feel like I need to keep challenging my brain. All right, let's switch out Metagross for, I don't know, Ava just for a bit. I was actually gonna give Ava the shed shell until I realized, wait a minute. I give her the shed shell, then she can't Mega Evolve. Or not the shed shell, it's a different item, the shell bell. Yeah, so I especially don't mind training pseudo legendaries because you had to put so much work into it. Like, if I had Latias, I would have had Latias forever ago. Imagine if I traded myself a level 1 Latias at the start of the game. That would have been, not that I could even have a level 1 Latias, but say I did. That would be incredibly overpowered. But the fact that you have to put in so much work to get them from, Beldum, especially with Beldum not only doing takedown. I'm sure you guys remember how difficult that was. Um, let's use a Draco Meteor on Cilio. And Boom Burst affects all 3 Pokemon, so okay, can't use that actually. Um, oh, you know what I could do? Let's be clever here. Hopefully we're faster. I could look if I was really interested, but I'm not, so. Worst case scenario, we'll take a little damage, but I think Ava will be okay. Alright, Exploud, use a Boom Burst. Yeah, that'd be so cool to see Exploud just like shooting out water as it pedals along like a boat would from all of its little tubes there. That'd be quite the sight. Um, but anyway, because it takes so much effort to train pseudo legendaries. Oh, I guess that's the other thing that they also have in common. Their final stage tends to evolve at a very high level. I think Hydreigon is like level 60. Tyranitar and Dragonite are both um, 55. I don't know as the newer ones as well. I think Metagross is actually the earliest evolution. I guess to kind of make up for having to train Beldum, which it doesn't have the best moveset. So 45 is actually pretty early for a pseudo legendary. And in most of my Let's Plays, I do train a pseudo legendary. Not all, like my X one I didn't, but yeah, I had a Tyranitar in Heart Gold. I did Metagross here, a Dragonite in Red. So that won't stay true through every Let's Play because I've already trained a Hydreigon, so I'm not going to train another one in when I do my Pokemon. I'll probably do Black too, whatever game I end up playing. But yeah, for most games, I think I will just because I really like them. So, all right, well, we are at Pacific Log Town. So you can get a little sneak preview here. We'll explore it more next episode, but now that I'm here, I can fly back here, which means I can go do stuff between episodes and start working on that little to-do list I made for myself, and then come back right back here and we leave off. So that'll be a nice time saver. But yeah, so that's my rationale for why I actually really enjoy pseudo legendaries. A lot of my favorite Pokemon are pseudo legendaries because I like that you put in that investment, you build up that that time with the Pokemon before you really get that really big payoff of having one of those powerful Pokemon in the game. And it's not a legendary, it's not some super rare Pokemon that's like overpowered or rare. It's like a Pokemon that if I was in the anime, it'd be cool to have a Metagross, but it wouldn't be like, oh my god, that guy has a Latias. Like almost nobody has Latias. Um, but Metagross is rare, but it's a regular legitimate Pokemon. Anyway, just my thoughts on it. I'm really excited to have Metagross on the team. Really excited to see what it can do in battle as we get into some of these harder battles. We actually have a pretty close to our final moveset too. Um, we'll probably have a different item at some point, but Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt, and Earthquake I'll plan to keep, and Rock Polish is pretty good too. I might even keep that. I might replace it with another move for more coverage, but I don't know. I could also see the speed boost being advantageous as well, and I could also see Sharpen Claw or Own Claws being advantageous also for increasing my accuracy in my attack. So I'll debate between those 3 moves. But anyway, I need to get to sleep, and you guys need to get on to the next episode, so I will let you go ahead and do that. As always, thanks for watching, have a great night, and see you all again soon.